Welcome to this video. My name is Eva, and in this video I just talk about the Canary Islands because I live here for quite some time, over 1.5 years I think, and I get so many questions every day on Instagram about living on the Canary Islands and how can we make people make it happen to go to the Canary Islands. So in this video I really want to answer your questions. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So the first question: can you recommend going to the Canary Islands for 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, etc.? And I can definitely say yes, I love it here. I also have a boyfriend who's from the Canary Islands, and yeah, I just really like it. For me, the Canary Islands are super diverse. There's so much different nature. Every island is unique and specific. For example, if you go to La Gomera, El Hierro or La Palma, which are more islands in the west, it's a lot more lush and it rains more, but it's a lot more green and it's absolutely beautiful, especially if you're a fan of hiking. And if you go more to the right, you have islands such as, for example, Lanzarote or Fuerteventura, and it's more dry. And yeah, but it's amazing if you're interested in volcanoes and all of that. It's really fascinating. So I think that there's an island for everyone, I would say, and I can definitely recommend it. I really enjoy my time here, and I think I had two very different experiences, because when I first got here it was kind of a university scholarship, so I had a lot of time and I was just studying, so I had more time to really explore. And now the second time that I'm here is really more perspective of work, because I have a job and I still study, so it's a lot, and I kind of only have the weekends kind of off. So I still work on some weekends, but however, so I have the perspective of someone who has to work more, and I still absolutely enjoy it. So why do I enjoy it so much? First of all, the climate, and I think this is why I get especially a lot of questions from people from Germany or from the USA or Canada, so from people who have a more cold climate. And I can definitely say this is amazing. I don't like the winter too much. I like to go skiing 1 week when it's amazing snow, but in Germany it's just 7 months of darkness, or maybe 5 months of darkness, and I don't like that. Here in the Canary Islands the climate is different, so what I really appreciate is that you just go out for lunch maybe, and you go to the beach and the weather is amazing, and then you can just play some sports on the beach and then you can go back to work. So it's less of a hassle. You don't have to, because in Germany when I had a car I had to scrap the ice from the car, and it took me, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do that, and then my hands got frozen, and I'm not a big fan of winter. So for me the climate just works a lot better because it's more simple and you have less time to do the bad stuff like scraping ice and you have more time to do the good stuff, for example sleep at the beach. So that's why I really enjoy it. And so can I recommend it? Of course yes, but as I want to mention also that every person is so different. So what I love and enjoy, maybe you don't enjoy as much. So then the next question is or are the Canary Islands safe? That's a generalization. I would say it's quite safe. Also, I meet a lot of people who've been to South America, or maybe they grow up in South America, and they say, hey, the Canary Islands, if you compare them to South America, they're a lot more safe. So I personally find that I feel super safe here. And there's, in general, the criminality is quite low. I'm from Germany, so my English is not the best, but yeah, I feel super safe. And probably depends a little bit the area which you live, but if you spend a little bit of money and you can, I think, choose the area that you want to live in. I'm right now in Las Palmas, and I've been here for the past month, and it's a super safe city. So yeah, really great city and super safe. So I would not be afraid, because I think that some people, they ask me questions, but in reality they just want me to say, hey, it's great, come here, don't be afraid. So really just come here. If you don't enjoy it, you can still go back. And yeah, it's amazing. So another big question was about yeah, the big C, this virus situation, how is it on the island? And I can definitely say it's chill. I mean, if you compare it to what is happening right now in Germany, it's really, Germany's like this Matrix movie, which is absolutely insane. When you just look in the news and you see what's going on in Germany, it's just crazy, because here it's quite chill. And I mean, it depends a little bit the people that you meet, but in general the people from digital nomads, they're just more calm and chill with the situation. So I think it really depends on the people that you meet. But one big plus of the Canary Islands is that the weather is great. So even though maybe you cannot go in a restaurant for whatever reason or something, you can always meet at the beach, or you can go with a hiking group into the mountains. So that's, yeah, really safe, really quite good. And yeah, and if you're young, there are always like underground parties. I don't say that I go, but yeah, there's always ways to go around of the restrictions. Not that I would do that, but there are. So yeah, I can definitely recommend it. And I mean, I don't know how is the future of the situation in the Canary Islands. It could get worse, but for now it's, yeah, just very chill. The next question is what can you do in the Canary Islands? I would definitely recommend, if you spend some time here, some month, to go into nature, because I love nature, and here's just such a variety of different climate zones and different, yeah, nature things. So you can go hiking, you can go to the beach, there's a lot of outdoor sports, like I did paragliding, you can do surfing, you can go do different, yeah, I don't know, diving, scuba diving I think it's called. So there's a lot. And also culture. For me, I was in Cuba for a month some years ago, and for me the Canary Islands, especially La Palma, they remind me a little bit of, and Las Palmas obviously, they remind me a little bit of Havana, like Cuba, and the people are, yeah, or remind me of the people in Cuba, so more chill and more happy. And I dance Cuban salsa, and there's a lot opportunities in Las Palmas for doing that. So there's definitely some opportunities for having cultural experiences, especially because, yeah, the Canary Islands are just I don't know how to say in English, but there are a lot of different people from Africa, from South America, from Europe coming together in the Canary Islands. So it's, I believe, very cultural diverse, and yeah, pretty interesting. I would recommend it. The next question is, how are the people? Of course, I can just do a generalization, but what I find, of course it depends on the people. There are good and bad people everywhere, so you can be lucky or not so lucky, but in general I would say that the people are super friendly, super open. And for me, I'm from Germany, and I just feel in my culture you're a little bit more quiet and tranquilo, so a little bit more, you know, quiet. And yeah, in the Canary Islands the people are a lot more like a little bit South America, so more like talk a lot, and yeah, just more open. But yeah, I would say people are super nice. My boyfriend is from the Canary Islands, he's super nice. So yeah. Next question, how expensive is it? I would say it depends where you're coming from. If you compare it to Germany, I think it's more cheap. Of course, depends on the area where you're from Germany, but I'm from Munich, and Munich is a more expensive area in Germany. And I think the rent is, I mean, it depends where you're coming from. If you compare it to Munich, it's more cheap. If you compare it maybe to a country such as a country from Asia such as Thailand, it's more expensive. So it's still part of the, I mean, European Union. It belongs to Spain, so it has similar prices. And I would actually say that yeah, it's a little bit cheaper than Germany, I would say. So, but what is super cheap is the gasoline. So if you have a car, it's really cheap. And for example, with the apartments, I pay because I share the apartment in Las Palmas, and we are 5 minutes away from the beach, walking distance. So it's yeah, a great location, and we pay 600 euros, so each person pays 300 euros and everything is included, and that's, yeah, just a lot cheaper than, for example, if I would go in Munich and search for an apartment in Munich. So yeah, I would say it's not like Asian prices, but it's a little bit lower or comparable to European prices. Next question. How easy is it to find work there? I haven't, like, I'm working for a German company, so I haven't really tried to find work in the Canary Islands, but I could imagine that if you speak different languages that you will always find work. I also met people who find work on the Canary Islands. The only difference is that you have to see where you're coming from, especially if you're from north of Germany or maybe USA or something. I could imagine that the minimum wage is a lot higher than here in the Canary Islands. So for example, in Germany the minimum wage is, I think, 10 euros, and here on the Canary Islands I think it's around 6-7 euros. So, and I believe if you work a job here and you get minimum wage here, living expenses are really high, because I mean, yeah, the food is comparable to the prices in Germany, and you get in Germany a lot more money for the hours that you work. So I would recommend, if it's possible, to find a job that is online for a company from countries that have a higher minimum wage. So the next question, but how to find work, I would just look into Facebook groups. There's sometimes Slack groups or WhatsApp groups, but just go to Facebook and there are a lot of job offers. And the next question, how do you find friends? That's a big thing, and I can just say it's super easy to find friends, I think, but you, of course, you have to be open and you have to go to people. If you're the whole day in your room and keep working and avoid people, then of course it's difficult. But if you're a little bit open, then it's so easy, especially if you live in a bigger city such as Santa Cruz and Tenerife or Las Palmas and Gran Canaria. It's really not that hard, because there are WhatsApp groups, there are Facebook groups, there's a Slack groups, and there are always things that people do. So for example, one person writes, hey, I go to the beach to play volleyball, does anybody want to join? Or hiking or yoga. So yeah, it's not, and then you meet one person and then you meet their friends, and so it's not that hard, I would say. The next question is how to find an apartment. I think there are two ways. Either you do it officially or you do it more or less officially. What I did it once, I think, more unofficially, and once more officially. So the second time that I came to the Canary Islands, I searched for an apartment that I could share with my boyfriend, and we used the platform Idealista, and everything is super legal and you find amazing apartments, but you have to pay commission. So for example, the rent is 550 euros for the apartment, and we had to pay this price basically in the beginning. So you have to see some apartments, or most apartments, they charge a commission. And when you, for example, you want to stay with roommates or something, I could really recommend to check out Facebook groups. Then you probably don't have to pay commission, or Facebook groups. Sometimes I would recommend to also go on Facebook, digital nomads, or apartments, and then you maybe find a WhatsApp group, then you can ask in the WhatsApp group. So it's not that hard. But what I did every time when I went here and rented an apartment, I was looking at the apartment before we rented, and I would highly recommend it, because the second time that I went here, I was looking at different apartments, and on the pictures in the internet they look amazing, but if you check them out in real life, sometimes they're just not as good. So I would recommend to check out some apartments before, then go to the Canary Islands, get a hostel for some day, and really check out the apartment when you're present on the island. And how are the prices? It depends where you live. If you live in Las Palmas, it's more expensive, but if you live more in an area that is with more nature and less people, then it's a lot cheaper. I mean, you can get probably a house for 400 euros or something, or 500 euros in a really area where it's more nature. So it depends, but I mean, I'm young and I really like to meet people, so for me Las Palmas is the best choice, and it's still not too expensive. The next question is which island or which place should I stay? And this is, I think, a very individual question, so I cannot really say everyone has to stay on Gran Canaria, because every person is so different. And I, for me, really love Tenerife and really love Gran Canaria because there's nature, but there are also like there's a city, so there's things that I can do. But I could imagine if you have children and you want just some chill chill places, then, and you love maybe to go hiking or something, I could so recommend La Palma or Tenerife. So it really depends on what you enjoy, but there are so many YouTube videos out there where you can check out the different islands. And even if I would recommend, before not doing nothing, before you stay at home, just go to one island and stay here for some months, and then you will realize if you like it or not like it. Yeah, because imperfect action is always better than no action. And I think that's all of the questions that I have today. I don't know any more questions. If you have more questions, feel free to write them in the comment section, or you can also write me on Instagram. That's what a lot of people do. I also have a website, so if you're interested in just healthy food or changing your life through a fruit-based diet, raw vegan diet, vegan diet, and just feel a lot better, then definitely check out my website. The link is in the description below as well. So that's for today. I love the Canary Islands, and I'm pretty convinced that probably you will too. And yes, have a wonderful day and much love. Bye bye.